I want to talk a little bit about Iowa's 86-60 win over the Spartans tonight. It feels like Iowa's one of these teams, Sweeney, that is kind of coming on a little bit. We after they lost to Michigan last week, we were on the show and we asked, is Iowa the new North Carolina? They didn't have any quad one wins at that point. They didn't have any bad losses, but they didn't have any quad one wins. Why are they so comfortably in the tournament? And they responded by going into Columbus and beating Ohio State by 13. And then tonight, just smacking Michigan State by 26. And that might be more about Michigan State. We can get to that in a little bit. But what do you make of this Iowa team? How dangerous do you think that they are?
I think the difference is the defense, right? I mean, today and against Ohio State, they have guarded at a level that we haven't seen from an Iowa team, really. I mean, there was a couple of stretches last year where you thought they were turning the corner and it wasn't consistent. But, Iowa teams under Fran have been tremendous on offense and have struggled on defense. And, I just think the last couple of games you've seen the potential for them to guard because they have the personnel, right? I mean, Keegan Murray, for all he does offensively, and he is one of the best scorers in the country, and you don't even have to run a ton of plays for him to get his buckets. Like, he just finds ways to score and find ways to be around the basket. He is an awesome defender. I mean, he can switch, he can block shots, he can, he can guard in the post, he can guard on the perimeter. Tony Perkins can be a very good defender. Patrick McCaffrey, super long and impacts the game defensively. Like, they have the ability to be a good defensive team when they are engaged, right? And I think the last couple of games we've seen a renewed sense of urgency, and if we see that the rest of the way, I think this Iowa team can be really good because obviously they can pour it in when you have a guy like Keegan, when you have the shooting that they have that they can surround him with, when you have everyone on the floor really except for Rabracha who can handle the ball, which I think is a really dangerous thing to grab and go with the pace that they play. They have all the tools to be a team that, makes a little bit of noise. But, again, it's just a consistency thing on the defensive end. They were so poor against Michigan defensively. I mean, everything was a lab. And I think they've turned it as necessary, but how consistent will it be, I think, determines how good this team can be.
Can you fix that in the middle of the season, RC? Can you get better, or is that just kind of a pro? I feel like we have this question about Iowa all the time. Yeah, they can score, but are they going to be able to get enough stops to make a run?
I wonder where that comes from. Like, every year, some teams just, I tell you, we use Notre Dame, for example. Same personnel, same team forever, right? Now Solomon's on staff, and watching those guys and being around those guys, that's the MO. He's coming in, and their whole mindset has been like, we got to be better defensively. And that's why they've taken a jump. So it can happen if everyone bought in and buys in, and it's emphasized with the staff. So I'm wondering if Coach McCaffrey just probably got tired of hearing it and like, look, guys, we got enough offensive firepower. We just got to freaking guard somebody. And I mean, they got guys. I mean, Keegan I think he's one of the most versatile offense interior and on the perimeter defenders and offensive players. Like, he does that as well as anybody. I mean, guard guys on the perimeter, but also plays inside and plays outside. I mean, he covers it all.
All right. So we asked Keegan Murray that very question, what Iowa was doing defensively and how they can get better. And he's going to join us right now here on the Field 68 after dark. Now let me welcome on to the Field of 68 after dark Keegan Murray, who is fresh off of scoring 28 points and an 86-60 win over Michigan State. Keegan, first and foremost, how do I know you're not Chris?
That's a good question. I feel like the more we got older, the more we look alike. So, but I don't know, to be honest.
Have you guys ever pulled that off? Where the old switcheroo, where he did an interview for you, or you did an interview for him?
No, we've never done that, but a lot of people get us mixed up, our reporters. So,
all right. In all seriousness, you guys were coming off of a loss to Michigan about a week ago, and you've bounced back with a 13-point win at Ohio State, and then tonight's 26-point win against Michigan State. What changed? How did you guys get it going?
Yeah, I just think it's the next game mentality for us. In the Big Ten, you can't really dwell on losses because it's just the next game right after that. We had a ranked team on the road 2 games after the Michigan game, so we got to get ready for that. Got a big win there, and then got a big win tonight.
Keegan, going into that Ohio State game, you guys still didn't have a quadrant 1 win. How cognizant were you guys of that? Was that, a topic of conversation among the team? And how good has it felt to get that weight off your back the last 2 games?
Yeah, I don't think we were too cognizant of that, but we knew that we needed to get a big win at some point. I felt like our team knew that going into Columbus was an opportunity for us to get that win. And we just put the gas on the pedal the entire time and ended up pulling it out. So,
Keegan, I'm old enough, man. I actually played against your dad. So I actually played against your dad. We played against those guys. So you tell him I said hello. Tell him Randall should have said hello. Question for you. Your dad played there, and I know was that important for you being a low, you weren't a highly ranked guy, and you turned yourself into a lottery pick. I know that's impressive, but was that the only school you even considered going to following your dad's footstep, or what, how was that recruitment process?
Yeah, so I knew that I wanted to keep my options open. I wanted to look at every school possible and find the right fit for me. And Iowa was the first school that offered me. And we went on a visit there, and I just fell in love with, not just because my dad went here, but just what Fran said to me, and what he thought I could be in this program, and just the freedom I'd have in this program to do what I'm capable of doing. I feel like that is what really intrigued me to come here.
In the past, Keegan, I was kind of been defined by how good you guys have been on offense and have had some defensive struggles. But the last 2 games, you've given up 60 points tonight and 62 against Ohio State. Do you guys feel like you've turned a corner on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple games early on this season where I feel like defensively we were really active and we're really good in those games. And there's been stretches of 10 to 20 minutes where we've been really good on defense or halves and stuff like that, but really haven't put 40 minutes together defensively. In these last 2 games, I feel like we put those 40 minutes together, and that's led to big wins for us. And our team believes that if we can get it done defensively, we can beat any team in the country.
Keegan, I think a lot of people expected you to have a good year this year. If you go back and look at all the breakout player lists from the preseason, I think you were probably on most of them. But I don't know how many people thought, like, this guy has a chance to be an All-American. This guy has a chance to be the 4th leading scorer in college basketball. But did you expect to have this level of success entering the season?
For me, I expect myself to be great. I expected nothing less than that. And for me, it's just, what can I do to help our team win? In some games, just scoring a lot of points. Some games, just scoring the best player on the other team. And I just felt like whatever I'm doing to help our team win will help us overall and win games as a team. So for me, it's just being confident in myself as a player offensively to score those points, and defensively as well.
All right, I got one more question for you, and
right.
It's a tough one. I need you to answer it though, okay?
All right,
You
I
take
got you.
last year's Luka Garza and this year's you, and you play one-on-one. Who wins?
I bet on myself all the time. Every time I'm betting on myself, so I'm gonna have to take me.
I love it, man. I love it. Keegan, congrats on the win tonight. Best of luck the rest of the season, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys.